It is time for another episode of Pop Culture Junkie. We are so glad that you're here. I'm Shauna.
And I'm Olivia.
Olivia, I have fabulous news for you.
Ooh.
So remember the one reason I was mad at you a couple episodes ago?
Lady Gaga?
Yes. She just announced that she is coming to Glendale, Arizona.
Nice. Did you get tickets?
And I already told Andrew, I don't care how much these are. I don't care. This can be my birthday present. This can be our anniversary present. I'm buying a ticket to Lady Gaga.
Yes.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yes.
So,
if you do not win the beautiful Ticketmaster queue, do not feel a deep sense of loss, because you can do what I did and just buy tickets day of. But the sense of knowing really does matter, that you're yeah, I'm going. That's amazing. Manifested it.
Yeah, right? I can't believe she hasn't been in Arizona in years, so I'm very excited. I'm trying to convince Jessica and Heather and my sister-in-law Alyssa to go with me. So
nice. Yeah, that'll be so fun.
I'm hoping that they're max $350. That might be the point where I'm oh.
I think if you win the Ticketmaster queue and are blessed by the gods, you can definitely pay under that. I paid $250 for Taylor, and they weren't amazing seats, but I paid $250 at base price in an arena. But she's in a stadium, so it is smaller. She's not in an arena, but yeah, I think you could definitely do it at what she's selling the tickets at. But then also you could get under $350 day of or week of. Those drop a lot.
I can't panic like that. I need to buy my outfit. I need to have the whole thing planned. Where are we pre-gaming? Where are we taking pics at? All of the above. So
yes, if you don't, but I would say if you don't win the Ticketmaster thing, you shouldn't buy them at all. From just the time they go on sale till the week of, because this is for anyone. That's when they drop. So a bunch of ticket resellers buy all of the tickets. And then if you just wait till week of, they drop them crazy. Man. Taylor Swift, the tickets that I got were $5,000 and insane. They dropped to $800. So it is just you got to play that game. But I feel you will win the ticket lottery.
I'm manifesting that. I've been a very good little monster all year. She was so good at the VMAs. Did you watch the VMAs?
I watched clips, and I wanted to actually talk about the VMAs, because why did they put the glam filter on everyone? What was going on with people's faces? It was so weird. Yeah, and I agree. I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't just sit down. I don't have cable, and it was on CBS this year. I'm sure it's because nobody watches MTV anymore. All they play are reruns of Wild and Out all day, over and over. But I watched the clips, and I think obviously Gaga killed it. Ricky Martin did a really good job, and he looks incredible. My friend was live texting me because she's Liv, it is so weird. Why is Ricky Martin performing? She said Mariah Carey was a little odd, the way that she did it. And then I just saw a clip of Ariana, and I call her Party City Skeleton because, the weight loss is insane. Ariana literally runs across the stage like a Party City Skeleton would be made to run towards Mariah. It was very interesting. It felt like a weird universe, and we were watching all of the 2000s people. It was just kind of interesting. I mean, the MTV Music Awards is really trying to capture that heyday. I will say though, Sabrina and Taste was so good.
Sabrina did a great job. I totally agree that it was millennial bait, because I think we crave nostalgia. And so it was, Gaga's in the prime of her career right now, but she was popular in the 2010s. Mariah Carey, Ricky Martin, like you said. But then we also had Doja, Sabrina, Cat's Eye, who my husband's obsessed with. God.
I get it deeply. That Gap ad, watched it a lot. Yeah. But no, so Sabrina's did Taste, and we love a girl who supports the dolls.
Oh no, she did Tears.
Oh,
not
shoot.
Taste.
Why did I did that last time too?
I mean,
when I was like, you have to watch
T.
this music video called Taste. Shauna does an old timey voice, and I do whatever this is. It's my peepaw.
I do.
No, but Peepaw has a little like Southern flair, you know.
Oh, okay.
This intro is so random, but. Shauna came to San Francisco,
I did.
and one thing about San Francisco and California is Gavin Newsom is just being an absolute terror to Republicans, and I absolutely love it. And the other day, he actually posted this like MAGA like meme, and it was "Make America Gavin Again," and that's what I'm just gonna think about because. You know what? Bring back hot presidents. I need a hot president.
Oh my God, yes.
You know?
I want a hot president. Obama was so hot. Kennedy was hot.
Fine.
Young Joe Biden, hot.
Yep.
We thought of another one that we thought was kind of oddly hot too. Now I don't remember.
I mean, this is traitorous to say, but Reagan was a movie star before he was a president.
That's
so
fair.
He is attractive.
But
yeah, you know, I just bring me back a good looking president. If you're going to be evil,
at least be hot. George W.
In a certain light.
Kind of hot.
Yeah.
Maybe not now.
Not now, but coked out George W. Bush. Yeah.
You say I would probably out George W. Bush?
Yeah, it was in college, so that's the time period. Maybe not now.
No.
Him and Ellen are just alone in a room, just
might still be on lines. Oh my God.
Portia's there, just like stealing it so she can stay skinny.
What is this intro? Okay, I have no segue. I'm sorry.
No,
fans.
We have to talk about how you came to San Francisco. That was.
Oh yeah, I did. I came to San Francisco.
So Shauna came to San
delightful.
Francisco. It was beautiful. We had her dance in a hippie circle on Hippie Hill in Golden Gate Park. She stole wine from the women's bowling league.
Listen, I went to go find a bathroom and I wandered into a women's bowling league in the park and they were having like a potluck. And so I went inside and they had boxed wine and I went, don't mind if I do. And it was the most buttery, disgusting Chardonnay I've ever had.
It was bad. It was really bad. I was
so
I don't
bad.
Want this.
But it was free.
It
was free. And I wandered into a hippie drum circle that the lady who was there said that they've been doing every weekend since like 1967. So that was fun.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What else did we do? We went to the goth club. That was beautiful. I took Shauna to the metal bar.
Yeah.
And it was like a DJ night and there was no metal band. I was quite upset.
I don't believe you that that's a metal bar. Every time you've taken me, there's like
it's so
raggatone DJ.
It's so weird. Like this entire week, they had metal bands like every night. And then every time you came, Stephanie came. And then when you all came for your birthday, it was like a weird disco night. I don't know.
We're not allowed to see the metal band.
They said you're anti-metal. I don't know. I can't do it. We went to the gay bars. That was super fun.
We ate a lot of food.
We went to Chinatown. It was so fun.
Chinatown was
and then
so
Shauna
fun.
and I had our titular. Yeah, we Sunday morning woke up violently hungover when we were supposed to get seafood. We were supposed to take the ferry to Tiburon and get seafood. And last time Shauna was here, I was so hungover that I could not look at an oyster, think about one. I was like, I will die. So I woke up that morning and I was like, oh, I don't know if I could get on a ferry right now. And Shauna just like blunders out of the guest room and is like, I can't get on a boat.
We're not getting on a boat today. We put on sunglasses and walked to brunch. And then, not even brunch. We got like sandwiches and coffee and then said, do you want to go back to bed? And both went back to bed for like 3 hours.
I was so hungover. I was wearing these sunglasses and I looked like John Lennon. Like,
very sexy. It was sexy John Lennon.
Dead or alive John Lennon, I don't know.
Oh, you were dead John Lennon that day. Yeah. You were post-mortem for sure, but we both were. But we had a wonderful, after we recovered.
We rallied and we had a simply lovely day.
I know, I miss you already.
Yes. You can just come back because you clearly want to hang out on Friday.
I really do want to hang out on Friday. I'm just going to come over on Friday, okay? I'll come and see you.
She's on her way.
You know what else would be fun to do? Visit your
Talk shit about
parents.
parents.
Visit your parents. We sure do love our parents. So after the break, after this break, we are going to talk about some of the best and worst pop culture parents. I'm so sorry about that terrible segue. We're going on a break.
It.
Okay, so today we're going to look at the Mamas and the Papas, and I do not mean the 1960s rock band. We are going to talk about the best and worst parents in pop culture. So TV and film have given us some very memorable mothers and fathers, but who are the best and who are the worst? What qualities separate the warm, supportive parents from the ones who traumatize their children? Mufasa by dying. It's pretty traumatizing.
You know, it's quite rude of him.
Well, the audacity. What do you think makes, I guess, neither of us are parents, and neither of us really plan to become parents. So, but what do you think makes a good pop culture parent?
So, yeah, I think the question of being a parent, right, is so complex. And I do think that as millennials, we are really kind of that first generation to say, or maybe Gen X are the first generation to be like, oh, maybe I don't want to have kids because the impact that I can have on that person through life and like really, you know, for lack of a better word, like mess them up forever.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, a lot of that comes from us being the first generation with better access to mental health. And really examining like talk therapy and things like that. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, snowflakes, you know, I did the best I can, whatever it is. And I do think that being a parent is mainly showing up and being there and like trying to guide your child on the best path. I think one of the hardest parts about growing up is realizing that your parents are just people.
Yeah.
And so I think that it is quite hard in like meaningful TV and movies and film to really portray an accurate human experience and have a perfect parent. And so what was interesting when we were actually doing this episode and thinking about it, I had a much easier time coming up with the worst parents.
Oh my God, me too.
Than I did the best parents.
I could name a million terrible pop culture parents, but then I was like, good? And I think that's because to be a good parent, sometimes you just have to be a parent, right? Like, there's a lot of pop culture parents who are just, they're there, and they're not good or bad, which probably means they're pretty good. The bad ones, it's like, you know, Mommy Dearest and like the mom from Precious, like you have to be really bad. And then like those are really memorable, right? Because you're like, oh, they were terrible. But I that's interesting that you say that growing up is realizing your parents are people too. It's like, when I hang out with my sister-in-law and her husband and we're like with their kids and we're all 36 years old and we're like drinking and watching movies with them. And I'm like, this is just like if, I don't know, our parents were hanging out with their friends and their in-laws like when we were kids. And it's, I don't know, now that we're that age, it feels kind of strange, right? And I have to keep reminding myself that I'm old enough to have like a teenager. Yeah, when I meet people who are my age, and they're like, oh, I'm dropping off my kid at school, and I'm like, how old's little Timmy? And they're like, 17. And I'm like, how on earth do you have a okay, yeah, that makes, you know, like, I picture everybody just having little bouncing babies, but no, we are old enough to have teenagers.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, I think that good, like a good stable home, like what I think makes like a good parent in real life probably isn't going to be made into a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, boring.
Yeah. It's a sitcom. You have like the Boy Meets World parents and they're delightful, you know, and everybody knows in Fresh Prince.
Like the seventh heaven dad.
Yeah, except for you're not allowed to do drugs in the seventh heaven home. I smoked weed.
Good parents let you do drugs in Shauna's universe.
Good parents let you smoke a little bit of weed.
Okay, Listen. That's good to know. That's very good to know. But yeah, I think it is we'll talk a little bit about our choices and the people we want to talk about. It was kind of interesting to me to look at that and think about which ones I thought were like good. I have some funny ones.
I named one that we'll get to here in a second that I thought was good. And I was telling Andrew and he goes, wait, I think they're pretty terrible. And I was like, that's a very controversial thing.
Let's argue. I was talking with my coworker about one of them and she was like, I don't think he's great. And I was like, okay, that's good.
Interesting.
So it's a topic. So do we want to start with the worst of?
Yeah. So we have each come up with a list of our favorite moms and dads and the ones we hate the most. And we're going to get more into that. But first, let's talk Patreon. We have put together some fun rewards for not very much money, like a shout out on an episode, full access to our PCJ Pops, even a sneak peek at our uncensored video of our episodes before anyone else gets to see them. All you have to do is join Patreon at the tier you like. No matter what you choose, the price is definitely right. This helps us bring you the best of pop culture on a weekly basis. So go to patreon.com/popculturejunkiepodcast and give us some love. Give us some love that our parents never gave us.
Speak for yourself, because my parents listen to this.
Oh, God, I know they do. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Rohde. You guys are fabulous. You guys are wonderful. Okay, do we want to start with our... let's start with the best, because I think the worst is more fun. So let's start with our best. So the one that I just mentioned that I said was one of the best families... Andrew said he thinks that they are not good parents. And I think that's pretty controversial because I picked Gomez and Morticia Addams from the Addams family.
Okay.
So Gomez and Morticia have been portrayed across decades. They've been played by John Astin and Carolyn Jones in the TV series in the 60s. Raul Julia and Angelica Houston in 1991 and 1993. And here in Wednesday, they are played by Luis Guzman and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
She dips beneath lasers.
I'm so glad you know that reference. Every time I see her, I go, she ducks beneath lasers.
It's dips.
Is it dips? Okay.
Yeah.
She dips beneath lasers.
That's so tight butthole.
That's super tight. We have that loose butthole. We need to get to that tight butthole. Anyway, anybody who doesn't
we're talking about workaholics.
I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Okay. While delightfully macabre, they are unwaveringly loving towards their children. Gomez and Morticia, that is, not the workaholics. They encourage their individuality and they create one of pop culture's most supportive and eccentric households. Andrew said he doesn't think they're good parents because they allow their children to torture each other and they feed them bugs and roadkill. And I said in their household, that's all like love, though. They love torturing each other and they love eating bugs and roadkill. And he's like, yeah, but like Pugsley and Wednesday wouldn't love being tortured if their parents hadn't raised them to enjoy being tortured.
Damn it! I hate when I have to agree with a man. But
I never thought of it like that, and I was like, "Is he just redoing my image of the Addams family?"
Yeah, like Andrew's thinking about like breaking toxic family cycles and like those things. Which fine, but we are also in a universe where like a hand can freely run around. But I would say that a lot of people think of them as good parents because they like support their children and their like weirdness and allow them to like be who they want to be. And so it's not necessarily like controlling, and they teach them to push the status quo and not go with those things. So I think you can, it's really kind of like glass half full, glass half empty. But in this world would be weird.
I agree.
CPS getting called.
Yeah, in this world, if you let your children like put each other in electric chairs and play around, and I think Pugsley mentioned that his punishment in the last episode of Wednesday I watched was like, what's it called, a stretching rack or something that they did like medieval times? I don't know. They use medieval torture devices, but they seem to really like it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know, but I put them as one of the best parents. I think that if Wednesday or Pugsley came home to their parents and were like, we're gay, their parents would be like, oh, how delightful, my darlings. You know, like they wouldn't care.
Yeah.
My next example of a great parent is actually a parent figure. So Aunt May from the Spider-Man universe. So Aunt May has appeared across comics since 1962, in animated series and live action films. Her portrayals have included Rosemary Harris in Sam Raimi's trilogy, and most recently Marissa Tomei in the MCU, or as Tony calls her, Peter's hot aunt. So she embodies strength. She raises Peter with wisdom and care after the death of his parents and after the death of Uncle Ben. It's really just her and Peter. In some instances, she knows that he's Spider-Man, and then in others she doesn't. Or in the Sam Raimi films, she just really suspected it.
Her spidey senses were tingling.
Yeah. But she's always supportive of him being Spider-Man, of protecting the city. She's never like, you're going to get hurt. You need to stop this. She's like, the people need you. The people need Spider-Man.
Also seen as child endangerment, you know?
Oh, shit. God, she's right.
She said, get on that high surface and jump.
Go on out there, buddy. Go to outer space. I think she would have been a little nervous if she knew that Peter went out to outer space in Endgame, but whatever. But yes, Aunt May is very
when
supportive.
does Spider-Man go to space? But I've literally seen that one.
You've seen those movies where he goes to space, and Tony gets really mad at him too.
I mean, in my defense, they're doing a lot in that one. So
there is a lot of characters in space in that movie. But yeah. I think that Aunt May is an example of a great parent. Okay. My final best parents, I chose Joyce Byers from Stranger Things. Right?
Yep, keep going.
Great mom. So Joyce Byers is played by Winona Ryder. She is a central figure in Stranger Things, which has been running since 2016 and is ending up this year. Oh. So from the very beginning, she refuses to give up when Will goes missing. That's like the central theme of season 1 is Will is missing. Everybody thinks that he's dead, and she will not give up on him. She strings those Christmas lights around her house very famously and is able to communicate with Will from the upside down, and eventually convinces other people that he's still alive too, even though the town is kind of questioning her sanity. Her fierce determination and unconditional love make her one of the most relatable and heroic TV moms in recent history. And Winona Ryder is just so likable and so sweet and quirky. And I love Joyce Byers and can't wait to see what she is going to do in this final season.
I love it. Yeah, I am kooky lady. Kooky lady.
Joyce Byers or Winona Ryder?
Both, but yeah, both. she was on my runner-up list. So for best parents, I said earlier, I think it's really hard to like capture a great parent or a great like family system. But this is by an author, they who must not be named. And yes, I'm calling them they because they would hate it.
Yes, they fucking would.
But I think that a really great example of parents who actually like parent their children and try to do best by their child with what they have in the ability to provide is Molly and Arthur Weasley. I think that, you know, not just to their like 7 million children that they have, they also take Harry and they also take Hermione in quite a bit as well, because she's, you know, kind of like this outcast. And I think that as a whole, you know, the Weasleys are portrayed as like poor, and they do what they can with and provide so much love to their children, even with less means than other people. So I do think that they are a great example of, you know, a mother and a father that are both really good parents. I do think that in pop culture and media, a lot of the time it's like one standout parent who but both of them together are like a good unit. So
I agree. I love them as parents.
A good example, but they had to be like, and they're poor.
You can't be rich and a good parent, then you just suck. You're like Draco's parents. Yeah. I do love the line from Molly Weasley, not my daughter, you bitch, right before she kills Bellatrix. So good.
So good. So good. Yeah. And like actually someone who's like parenting their child, like with the talking male. It's like, Ron Weasley. Yeah. Maybe I relate to that so much because my mom does like the Southern version of that where she's like, Olivia Marie.
Oh my God, that sounded just like your mom. That was wonderful.
It really did. Yeah. It's like my friends do it to me who know my mom from like childhood because they would hear her yell at me often. And they always do it to like mess with me. And it's like, I'm in trouble.
Not the full name. When I get that Shauna Marie, I know too.
Yeah. Yeah. Olivia Marie Rhodey. Yeah. So really going into it. And then, I realized when I was coming up with my other two good parents, they're literally the same character, but in different fonts. And I would say these different fonts are East Coast and West Coast. And so
it's Tupac and Biggie.
Daddy. No, the first one is going to be
Papa.
Sandy Cohen from the OC.
I love
portrayed
Sandy Cohen.
Portrayed by Peter Gallagher. So he is the father of Seth Cohen, who is ultimately like still my dream guy. I think the OC is so good. Adam Brody, it brought him to us. He is such a good parent. He also takes in Ryan, who is a misfortunate child, takes him under his wing. Apparently, I really like this parents who take in, lost children.
I love that. I think that's so sweet. I love Sandy Cohen, and I love his eyebrows. And I remember being so attracted to him when he was on the OC. So hot.
Understanding dad. Hot, understanding dad.
Literally, yep. And doesn't even, takes in Ryan, and they raise him like their own son. And Ryan goes on to live a great life in the end of the show. So.
Yeah, lives in a very affluent zip code as well. And so, I think Sandy Cohen is just great parenting throughout the show as well. And just like very understanding, tries to meet his children where they are, holds them to a high expectation, but, is understanding when they don't meet it.
Yeah.
So I think that makes a great parent. And then my other one, which is same man in a different font on the East Coast, is Rufus from Gossip Girl.
Ooh, I never watched Gossip Girl, but I like the name Rufus.
Are you kidding me?
I was too focused on the OC. I was too focused on the OC. I couldn't.
No. You need to stop everything you're doing and watch it. It's so good. I can't believe you've never seen that. Are you kidding me? I rewatch
in the year
it,
of our Lord 2025. I should go watch.
Yeah, even Cheryl agrees that you should rewatch it, or you should watch it. Literally, okay. So good, still so good. I rewatch it like every 1 to 2 years. It's amazing.
Damn.
So,
maybe I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, and it's just iconic piece of 2010 TV. But okay, so Rufus Humphrey is the father of Dan and Jenny, and you can't control me, Dad. He is the parent of that famous, quote from Gossip Girl of Jenny Humphrey, really pushing against being parented. But really in this world of Gossip Girl, it's Upper East Side of New York. He is also the poor parent, apparently. Oh. I'm sensing some through lines here.
No, Sandy Cohen's loaded.
But he is not actually the rich one. His wife is rich.
Ooh, damn. You right.
Yeah, which now that I know, you haven't actually seen Gossip Girl. But okay. So Rufus Humphrey is like very understanding. He lives in Brooklyn. He owns property in New York. And I'm going to say that before I get into it. But he is the poor parent of all of these really, really rich Upper East Siders. And he's like the only like present parent for the most part. Things change as the seasons go on. But Rufus, just so good. Such a daddy, too.
Is he cute?
Yeah.
Matthew Settle. I need to Google this.
Yes, he plays him. I'm into it. You know, if I came over to my friend's house and her dad looked like that, be there every night. I'd be having that lasagna.
Handsome.
Yeah. Okay, so very
Daddy.
into it. So I want a hot, understanding dad.
I mean, I don't want my dad to be hot. I want my friend to have a hot, understanding dad.
Yeah.
I just want my dad to be understanding.
But by that, if your dad's hot, aren't you like also hot? Like, I don't need to see my dad as hot, but I inherited hotness.
I guess that's true. Like, if other people think your dad's hot, like, I was at this job years ago and this girl thought that my dad was the hottest thing she'd ever seen. And I've never experienced that before. I'm not saying my dad's not attractive, but he's like in his 70s. And she was just like, Shauna's dad. I'm like, oh, good for him.
Okay.
Good for him.
Okay. I haven't checked out a pic of Lonnie in a while, but I don't know if I got that.
I'll send you one. I'll send you a pic of my dad. I want to meet that dad.
I'll let you know if he's hot. But back to, the best parents. I got to be hot, live in a very rich zip code, or have magic.
Yeah, be magical, be hot, be supportive, and maybe
live in a good zip code.
Yeah, and if you think your kids are dead, then don't believe them and try to communicate with them in the afterlife until you can prove that they're alive.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to take a quick break and then get to the more fun part, which is terrible pop culture parents. We are back, and we are going to talk about the worst pop culture parents. So I will go first with my three, and I think that you're going to agree that they're all terrible, Olivia. I guess mine weren't that too controversial of like, I don't know, I like them. My first terrible parent is Stannis Baratheon from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Lighting your daughter on fire.
Yeah.
A little bad.
Lose a parent's voice. So
honestly, like every parent in Game of Thrones.
I don't know if there's a single good parent in Game. You know what? I do think that Ned Stark is a pretty good parent. He, just like Mufasa, dies. He didn't even have the audacity to stay alive. But I will say that Ned Stark was probably the best parent in Game of Thrones. And that's, he only got one season. But Stannis Baratheon is played by Stephen Delane. He appears in Game of Thrones from 2011 to 2019. He is initially kind of portrayed as like a rigid, principled leader. We kind of think Stannis like, oh, I could see Stannis on the throne. He kind of makes sense. He becomes fanatically devoted to the Red Priestess Melisandre, and it leads him to burn his daughter Shireen alive as a sacrifice. And that scene is so gut-wrenching. She's just screaming for her parents. Both of them are just turning away. The Onion Knight's there, and he's watching, and she taught him how to read, and he can't do anything. Or no, he's not there. He just hears about it later.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it's just so heartbreaking. And spoiler alert, Stannis doesn't get the throne, so that was for nothing.
He just said, let's do a little fire dance tonight, you know?
Let's just do a little child sacrifice. We're feeling silly. We're feeling a little silly. We kind of want to be in charge. I'm kind of going to burn my daughter at the stake. And his daughter is, she has, what's it called in Game of Thrones? Like the stone skin. There you go. She's got grayscale. So she's already kind of looked down on and shunned by most people. And
you know who also gave her the toy that gave her grayscale? Stannis Baratheon.
There it is.
Technically, it was someone who gave it to him, who gave it to the girl, but
no, it was his fault.
So do you think that he's the worst parent in
Game of Thrones? I think he might be the worst parent in Game of Thrones. I mean, Cersei's a terrible person, but she does love her kids. Not that she's a good mom, but she loves them. Jaime is just not allowed to say that they're his kids.
I mean, I think Tywin's a pretty horrid.
Oh, Tywin's terrible. That's true.
I feel like I'd have to say Tywin.
I'll say Tywin and then Stannis. Yeah, Tywin's own son kills him when he's on the shitter, so you gotta be pretty bad for that.
Yeah, rightfully so.
I'd be interested to hear the fans who are listening, if you guys want to hit us up and let us know your order and ranking of good and bad parents in the Game of Thrones universe.
Yeah, who's the worst, who's the best?
Yes.
I mean, I feel like if you can't say Ned, who's the best?
Yeah, if you can't say Ned, because it's probably Ned. Otherwise, it's like, Robb Stark never got to be a dad, but he probably would have been pretty good. He probably would have done a good job. Wah, wah. Okay. My next terrible parents are the Wormwoods from Matilda.
Okay.
So in the 1996 film Matilda and in the book, Danny DeVito plays Harry and Rhea Perlman plays Zinnia Wormwood. They're both terrible parents. They are selfish, neglectful, cruel.
Yeah.
They they seem regretful that they have Matilda as a daughter because she wants to read, God forbid. All they want to do is sit in front of the television and watch TV. And Harry Wormwood is more concerned with shady business dealings than their brilliant daughter, who's obviously in front of them and like genius as hell. Their lack of care highlights Matilda's resilience and really kind of is what bolsters her powers because they're just screaming at her, neglecting her, and ignoring her. Thankfully, I almost included this parent on the best list. She gets adopted by Miss Honey in the end, who is probably one of the examples of the best pop culture parents that you could have. So
yeah, I almost put her too, but I was like, she's technically not a parent.
She adopts her.
Yeah, you know. We don't count that in this house. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
We believe in adoption. Sure, we're just kidding.
We love adoption if you guys are good at it. Yay.
Yeah.
In real life, Danny DeVito really cared for Mara Wilson while her mom was ill. And so Danny DeVito behind the scenes was a wonderful guy. And, you know, Mara Wilson is a great little actress in those movies.
Yeah, she was a great
in that movie.
Actress.
Yeah, in any movie she was in, she was wonderful.
Yeah, she was amazing. I do love that movie so much. It's so good. Honestly,
I do too.
You really can't beat it.
No, it was one of my favorite movies growing up, and all my teachers would tell me at school that I looked like Matilda because I had the little brown hair and the bangs. My final example of terrible parents are the birds from Ozark. Did you watch Ozark, Olivia?
Oh, yeah.
I thought so. Ozark. I thought you did. So Jason Bateman and Laura Linney star as Marty and Wendy Bird in Ozark. So they are supposed to kind of appear as your normal suburban parents, but they obviously have some shady dealings even from the beginning, and they slowly descend into money laundering for a Mexican drug cartel and pull their children deeper into crime and danger. They have really skewed up moral compasses. I feel like they're never making good decisions. They are not happy in their marriage, and their lies and manipulation. They're making
it all of their children's problems.
They make it all of their kids' problems. And then even like, not that Marty was like a parent figure to Ruth in the show, but it kind of seems that way, that it could be, at least for a little bit, in my opinion. They do kind of have like this father-daughter kind of rapport back and forth with each other. They start out really like with a lot of animosity, and then she kind of comes on to his drug scheming.
Father and daughter in crime.
Yeah, but that doesn't last very long. And so by the end of it, Ruth wants them dead. And spoiler, in 3, 2,
do you need to spoil the whole show?
I guess.
To talk about them as parents?
It doesn't end well for Ruth in the end, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
There you go. Like, we don't need to spoil the show.
I'm going to go by season and let you know everything that happens in Ozark. Here we go. They are terrible to everybody. So those are my worst. What are your worst pop culture parents, Olivia?
Okay. So I have a few. Some are, when I say them, you will be like, absolutely. I have one that, you know, maybe some people don't necessarily think about when they think of bad parents. The absolute worst pop culture parent I think of all time is Frank Gallagher, who is in Shameless, like, South Side of Chicago, drug addict, alcoholic. Really makes Fiona Gallagher a parentified child who takes care of his many children. So he has 5 children: Fiona, Lip, Debbie, Carl, and Liam. And honestly, this man is just a menace. And I think, he exists in our universe. Like if we look at like Stannis Baratheon, it's like, well, you know, maybe different times, certain circumstances. Like, no, this man is absolutely like selling his child for drugs, like
That's
actually
awful.
like handing him off. So crazy. And, you know, done some terrible things. I mean, William H. Macy does an amazing job playing Frank Gallagher. I mean, have you ever seen Shameless?
I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I've never actually sat down and watched the whole thing. I know.
Oh my God.
I've heard it's really good.
It's oh my God. It's such an amazing show.
HBO, right?
Showtime.
Oh, Showtime.
But I think it's on
right
Netflix now. But Shameless is so good. Emmy Rossum in it. Jeremy Allen White becomes famous from this. I mean, it is so incredibly good. It is the most messed up family of all time. Really, really crazy situations. Like, I think it's season 5. When you get to season 5, oh my God, I will never forget it. But yeah, amazing. I mean, Fiona is a parentified child, but she could also probably get in there on Worst Parents.
Oh, she's trying though, right?
She's an older sister parent, so we'll allow it. But whenever we first started thinking about this, I was like, definitely Frank Gallagher, like doing crack next to his child. Absolutely crazy.
Don't do crack. That'll make you a good parent. Not doing it makes you a good parent.
Not doing crack.
Not doing crack.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down.
Now, on the exact opposite part of the economic spectrum, my next one is Logan Roy from Succession. He is the founder and CEO of Waystar Royco, and he's like kind of the patriarch of the family. He's played by Brian Cox. It is based loosely on the Murdoch family. Okay. And so this show follows him like aging, about to retire, and which of his 3 children are going to take over. 2 boys and, well, I guess 4 children. 3 boys and 1 daughter. And it is just, you know, imagine the Murdoch family. And it is the richest of rich, you know, tycoons of media and just
terrible
craziness, terrible people. He's such a complex person too. Like going into it, like you see that he is this very successful man who should be respected, but also has a terrible like inward life, really great outward success. And what does that do within a family? So 2 sides of the spectrum right there of incredibly poor and impacts, incredibly rich and powerful. And
so your third parent needs to be right in the middle, just very middle class parent.
Yes. And my third parents, it's the Parent Trap parents, because what the hell was that?
This is controversial. I totally agree with you.
You're going to split your twins up because you got a divorce. No, that's not parenting.
That is the worst way they could have handled this situation. Like, you're telling me that they're going to go, they just planned on going their entire lives without ever seeing their other child.
Yeah. And you guys couldn't even like claim a side of the country for camps. You had to go to the same camp. Like you're going to ruin this twin telepathy connection, and you're not even going to make a plan to be
and
like,
they lied. They lied to everybody. They lied to both of the girls and made them think that they didn't have sisters. And then they convinced the like nanny and their butler to just like pretend there's not another daughter. Pretend there's only one of them. Right?
That's crazy. You're never gonna, crazy.
It's so cruel. I'm sorry. If another thing that makes good parents is that if you get a divorce, you split up, you at least, I'm not going to say stay together for the kids because I think that's messed up, but at least
you co-parent.
Co-parent, for the love of God.
Yeah, no, crazy. Honestly, like, so wild. Like, you know what? Also, the mom, okay, the dad, we're used to men being bad parents. So, but the mom is just like, yeah, I could live without one of these. Like, that's crazy.
How did they choose? Did they just like, I'll take that one. You take that one.
No, what is it? Like a flip of a coin? Like this one's heads, this one's tails.
I know. And you think the mom was like, shit, I liked that one more. Whatever.
Yeah. That is so crazy. What age are they when
I think they're like 10.
split? No, but they split the babies up.
Oh, when they split the babies up, that's a great question.
Oh, it's separated at birth. That's crazy. So like I haven't seen this movie in so long. Nancy Meyers, I have questions. So did they break up whenever she was prego? And then like it was kind of like a handed the baby off to the husband, like fresh out of the womb?
That is a great question. Yeah. Was there a lawyer involved in this? Did they write up the paperwork and was the lawyer just like, you guys, this is kind of messed up? Or did they just kind of like do this in the hospital? She's like, I want you out. Take that one and leave.
What judge in family court was like approved?
Yeah. You guys, so you never want to see the other daughter? You never want to see Haley again? You never want to see...
So the custody agreement is 100% for this one and 100% for that one?
And then when they finally meet the other daughter that they like never have met before, everyone's very understanding. Like, oh, I have a mom now. I have a dad now. I would have been like, what the fuck, Dad? Like... Yeah. You never wanted to meet me? You never wanted to meet me?
Twins with a deep sense of abandonment.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I love that out of all of these parents, like burning their kids at the stake and smoking crack in front of them, this is the one that we're like, what on earth?
No. But it is so messed up.
It's so messed up. And we're supposed to think it's all cute and fine.
Yeah, Nancy Meyers is a propaganda machine. What do you mean? No, this is not normal.
This is inhumane. And listeners, if you are separated at birth from your twin in a bad divorce situation, we want to know and we want to have you on the podcast.
I bet you they're out there, honestly. I do bet you they're out there. But I just need to know, was it a kind of under the radar custody thing?
Yeah.
And we just went okay, we don't have to go to court and do child support because truly,
he snuck out of the hospital with a coat on, and he just had one of the babies hiding under the coat and just left, and she's like, perfect. And yes, we are talking about both iterations of the Parent Trap, although I've never seen the 1961 version of it. I've only seen the Lindsay Lohan version that came out in the 90s. Yeah. So we'll have to see if the 1961 version is the same ridiculous situation.
I mean, Dennis Quaid and Natasha Richardson are hot.
Oh, they're wonderful.
So
people,
are
actors,
hot.
Yeah.
So we forgive them. Also, why we need a hot president.
We need a hot president so we can forgive you more easily.
Splitting up children at birth.
Yeah, we're like, but you've considered that it's Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that about wraps up this unusually family-oriented Pop Culture Junkie podcast episode.
Yeah, justice for Haley.
Justice for... Wait.
Just
Haley
one of them. And
I was like, what about the other one? I don't remember the other one's name.
Haley and Annie.
Annie, yeah. Justice for Haley and Annie Parker. Message us and let us know about your favorite moms and dads in TV and in the movies. Olivia, where can the listeners find your parents online? I'm sorry. Where can they find you online?
So my parents are incredibly pure and wholesome. They do not have social media and they never had. So you can find me, the product of them, on Instagram at Livy Mariez, Livimariez.
And you can find me, Shauna, on Instagram and Threads at Shauna Trinidad, ShaunaTrinidad. You can find Pop Culture Junkie at our website, popculturejunkie.com. From there, you can find our podcast and on all of the platforms you could think of, as well as our social media links, blog posts, and more. And of course, please follow, subscribe, rate, and review. Do all of the things. Please join our Patreon. Every subscription helps us bring you more great episodes like this one. Find us at patreon.com/popculturejunkiepodcast. Sign up for a sneak peek or get a super special shout out from us. And come back next week for another hit of pop culture.
The Pop Culture Junkie podcast is produced by Jeff Markin and Cheryl Lightfoot for the Pop Culture Entertainment Network.